I need to not feel so alone here in my apartment today. So I want to talk to you all. I want to remind myself that I'm not alone. I can't give up on being hopeful. I can't. Let's talk about Christmas and Vlogmas and vlogs and Tamsin's trip and content planning. I don't have to feel lonely. And when I start feeling lonely, that is when I can start romanticizing the things that I don't have and making myself feel bad for not having. Good morning and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm a full-time university writing instructor and a part-time content creator and indie author. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It is great to have you all here today. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to a beautiful Friday. The sun is just starting to come up over the buildings. I can see it on the tree that's not blocked by the building across from me. And it's cool. It is only 39 degrees outside. Yes, I do have my windows open, even though it is 39 degrees outside. It is 63 degrees in my apartment. I don't know what that all is in Celsius, but freezing point in Fahrenheit is 32. So I think the exterior temperature is probably around like 4 degrees Celsius, and the internal temperature is probably somewhere around like 12. I run very warm, so I like keeping it as cool as possible. It is going to warm up. It's going to get warm enough over the next several days that I will probably have to turn the air conditioning back on, at least in the afternoons, which is not going to be fun, but that is still kind of normal for November. So I've enjoyed this beautiful weather while we've had it, and it will come back soon. I have no idea what this vlog is going to be. I will be perfectly honest. I needed to vlog today so that I have a vlog for Monday, but I also wanted to vlog today. I need to not feel so alone here in my apartment today. It's been a bad week. And I don't want to talk about why. I don't want to think about why. I want to forget the events of this week. But it's really put me to my limit. I have not been doing well over the last few weeks. The last 2 weeks in particular have not been the greatest, physically or mentally. And this week has just put me over the edge of what I can reasonably cope with in a day and in a week. And so I don't, my brain doesn't know what to do anymore. Being alone and not talking to anyone just doesn't feel like the right thing today. So I'm gonna talk to you all. I don't know what we'll talk about. I do have some things planned for today. So I'm about to run out to Whole Foods because I need to get that done, but I'm going by myself. Then Mom is coming over to get me, and we're gonna go to the hair salon. So I'm gonna get my hair done, get my hair sorted out. She's gonna get a trim while whatever color I am doing is processed. And then after I get back from the salon, I have teaching work that needs to be done. It's a holiday weekend. I usually structure my hours and like work on things so that I can take a couple hours off early on a Friday of a holiday weekend. So that's what I'm doing. I will write, but you won't see that in this vlog because I've been filming a week-long writing vlog, so that will probably be the vlog that goes up after this one. So this will go up on Monday, so stay tuned to Wednesday for a week of writing. But I do need to do some writing today and vlog it for that vlog. But I also just want to do a lot of like self-care. Like I just want time. I just want to relax and be kind to myself today and not overload myself with a million things. So I'm probably going to do some planning. So yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do or what we'll talk about today, but I felt like I needed you all to keep me company. So I've talked about this before, how like I love hearing you tell me what you're doing when you're watching my vlogs, and what I'm keeping you company during. You know, are you just relaxing at night? Are you getting ready in the morning? Am I hanging out with you while you're working at home? I know that I keep you all company with these vlogs, but you all keep me company. Being able to pick up the camera and talk to you really helps me. Some days it's not the right thing and I can't vlog, but other days, and today is one of them, it just feels like I need to be able to talk to my YouTube friends. You know, sometimes you need to pick up the phone and like talk to your in real person friends, the people that know you offline in real life, but you know, sometimes your online communities really help you, and you all definitely help me. And so I think today is one of those days where I just kind of need to be able to pick up the camera and ramble about whatever is popping into my head, just see where the day takes me. So yeah, that's really going to be as focused as this vlog is going to be probably, but I know a lot of you don't mind when there's no focus or theme, and when we're just chatting and hanging out. So I will probably ask a specific question at the end of the vlog, but feel free to talk back to anything I bring up in this vlog. Feel free to pause the video throughout and respond as you're watching. And I normally ask this at the end of the vlogs, but I'll put it in here at the beginning. If you enjoy this vlog at any point, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed, because I'd really appreciate that. So yeah, I've got my shoes on already, so I just need to grab a water bottle. I'm gonna get a hot coffee at Whole Foods today because it is not iced coffee weather this morning. And yeah, let's get going to Whole Foods and we will just see where today takes us. Okay, I'm back. I'm back from Whole Foods. I have what's left of my coffee in a Christmas mug. I love this mug. I have a matching plate for it too. I've heated it back up and added a bit more milk because their lattes are always very strong. I feel like they don't put that much milk in it, and I like a slightly more milky latte. It's great though because it means I can come home and like top up my latte. I also have a pumpkin muffin that I'm going to eat really quick while I do some teaching work. I need to post the announcement for my online students to wrap up the week and what they needed to do this week. There's some other things I wanted to do before I do that because it impacts what I put in their announcement. So I'm just getting logged in to teaching work. I'm going to do some of that until Mom gets here. She'll probably get here in about an hour for us to go to the salon. So Whole Foods was good. It was nice and quiet. I got there really early compared to when I go with Mom. We'd be getting there about now when we go together. So, because she's got to drive all the way over from her neighborhood. So I got there about an hour earlier than I normally would, slightly more than an hour earlier. So it was really quiet. The coffee people are lovely. I always end up having a bit of a chat with the girl who makes the lattes, and the guy who was taking the orders was also really friendly today as usual. So it was nice to like just see people and talk to people. And I'm excited to see Mom and my hairstylist and like just have a chat with them in the salon for a couple of hours. That'll be nice. Like, there's part of my brain that just really wants to be alone right now, but then there's another part of my brain that just really craves connection. So I feel like today will be a good balance. I'm struggling, and I don't like when these vlogs focus on me struggling. And a lot of what I'm struggling with is stuff we've talked about before, like my suspicion that I'm in perimenopause and I still need to find a new doctor, and I'm still struggling with my current doctor and issues with that. I've just done open enrollment for work and updated. I didn't make any big changes, but I was listening to what has changed and what the plans are, just to refresh myself, so I feel like I'm in a good place to start looking for a new doctor. So I know I won't be able to get an appointment before the end of the year, but I would like to, by the end of this year, have researched doctors and made the call to make an appointment, even if that appointment isn't until the new year, sometime in the new year. So that's kind of one of my goals for by the end of 2024. I want to have picked a doctor and called their office to make an appointment, because I don't like how I'm feeling, and it is scaring me how I'm feeling, because whatever it is, it's not normal. It's not how I normally feel, and it's not just election stress. Obviously, I'm in the US. We just had a major election. I'm not gonna not talk about that. I don't want to talk extensively about that because it will make me upset. But like, obviously that is a very stressful thing. Elections are just inherently stressful, and the media doesn't help, and this election has been the worst of my life that I can recall. So it's been a rough week, but everything I'm feeling, I've been feeling at this intensity, more or less, for more than just this past week. And I know it's not just connected to the election, because I have gotten really good, and this is something I'm really proud of myself for, but like, I've been doing so much work in therapy week after week, month after month, year after year, and I've been working with this particular therapist for several years now, and I've learned so much in our sessions, and I've done a lot of reading on my own, a lot of personal development books. You know, I've learned a lot about mindfulness and intentionality and being in the present moment. Like, if you haven't read Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, highly recommend. I also really like Mo Gadot's book, Solve for Happy. That one's also really helped, and that's got a lot of overlap with The Power of Now, but I feel like Solve for Happy is a little bit easier to read. And so like, I've done a lot of work on myself. I got to a place where I felt like I was finding joy in the little moments, and I was living in the present moment, and I would have a stressful thought pop up, something that would make me very anxious or very overwhelmed or fearful or sad or whatever, and I would acknowledge it, I would feel it, and I would let it move on, and I would remind myself that, you know, I'm not actively under threat in this moment. This thing that I'm anxious about may not happen. Focus on the now, all of that. And I feel like over the last month, it's gradually crept up, but this past month has been the worst, and the last few weeks have been the worst of all. And that is timed with the election, but I just know instinctively it's not just the election, because without everything else that I'm struggling with, something like the election is something that that's the kind of thing that I've gotten really good at catching myself when I'm spiraling, when I'm catastrophizing, when I'm jumping to the worst case scenario, and not letting it mess up my head right now in this moment. And so I know that this week would have been hard regardless, but I just have this feeling that it wouldn't have been as hard if there wasn't something else going on. And so my suspicion, I've mentioned this before, but my suspicion is that something else is perimenopause. And what little research I've done and what I've heard anecdotally from a lot of you all tracks with that how I'm feeling is very likely perimenopause. And as I mentioned a few vlogs ago, I brought it up with my current doctor. She completely dismissed me, shot me down immediately, like as soon as the question was out of my mouth. Oh no, it couldn't possibly. And then never ran any tests to like verify that it couldn't possibly be that. So I need to find a new doctor, and that is going to be a lengthy process because American healthcare is fun. I feel like 2025 is going to be a big year for me health-wise, just trying to get as many answers, as many new doctors as I need to just figure out what's going on, and doing a lot of research on my own. And so this is what I need to do kind of now. Something I can start doing now is researching perimenopause and learning as much about it as I can so that I know what questions to ask whoever my new doctor ends up being, and so that I can ask informed and educated questions, because how I'm feeling is not normal. It's not what my normal usually is. It's not what normal should be. No one should have to feel the way that I'm feeling, which is panic attacks on a daily basis, crying uncontrollably, feeling afraid of everything. And it's one of the reasons why I want to be talking to you all in the vlogs, and why I'm glad I'm going to be seeing my mom and my hairstylist later today and talking to them, because with how I'm feeling, I feel like there's a real risk of me just disappearing. And what I mean by that is shutting down all my online social media accounts and like never leaving my apartment, because everything outside of this bubble of my apartment just feels so scary to me right now. And some of those fears are rational and understandable, but the vast majority of them are not. That's something that I'm really struggling with, that I've not really struggled with in the past. Anyway, that's just a little snippet at how I'm feeling right now and where my head is at. And it's one of those things where it's like, today would be really easy to not vlog and to just struggle in silence here at home. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. I don't want that to be the habit that I get into. So I want to talk to you all. I want to remind myself that I'm not alone, and that I don't have to feel alone, that I can reach out and do things that make me feel less alone. And I would really encourage you, if you're feeling the same way, like if anything I've said just now resonates with you, please find ways that you can reach out to other people. Please don't stay isolated if that's how you're feeling. Reach out to friends. Leave comments on this vlog. You know, pause the video right now and let us know if you're feeling a little bit alone right now. Everyone, if you're reading the comments, please look out for comments of people saying that they just want to feel less alone, and let's just say hi to each other down there, and let's just talk to each other. Let's share what we're reading today, or what we're watching on TV today, or what fun activity we're looking forward to this weekend or later this week, because this vlog's going to go up on Monday. But like, let's just talk to each other down there, and let's talk on Instagram and stuff like that. Find people in your life that you can talk to and hang out with. If there's a friend you haven't called in a while, give them a call, send them a text. See if they can meet up for coffee or a walk around a park. And if you don't have a friend that you can do that with, find a group, find a community group, find a walking group in your neighborhood, or something at a community center, or a church if that's a community that's open to you. I think that's something I want to start looking at. I never got around to it last year, but I know that the park where I hike does walks and nature talks and events and things like that. And I don't know that I'm an introvert, so like I don't know that I'll ever be someone that like has some social activity lined up for every day. But I do want to try to do something like that at least once a month. So I need to look up the schedules for that. there should be some information the next time I go hiking, which will probably be tomorrow morning. But yeah, anyway, this will turn into a longer ramble than I intended it to be. My coffee's probably getting cold. Lukewarm, but it still tastes good. So I need to finish my coffee, eat my muffin, get some teaching work done, and then Mom should be here in about 40 minutes. And we will go sort this out. We will make my hair look cute again and then come back and figure out what I want to do for the rest of the afternoon. I'm back and we've made a hair change. So I've gone back to red. We did this a little over a month ago and I loved it. You all loved it. You left me some very lovely comments and compliments in the comments. It washed out within like a week and a half because it was semi-permanent color that we did before, but I really, really loved it. So this time we've gone with a permanent color. So we'll see, fingers crossed. This should last a little bit longer and I really hope it does because I really love this color. I think I might let it, like next summer, let it go back more to the blonde, let this like fade completely and be more of a strawberry blonde. But for now, I just really wanted to be more of a redhead, especially for the holidays. I think this will be really fun. So hair appointment went well. We had a really good time. It was good to see Mom. We chatted a lot. We went and got lunch next door. There's a Greek restaurant right next door to my hair salon that I go to. So that was really yummy. And then Mom drove me home and now I need to get back to work. So I've got a bit of work to do. I am going to finish early today. And that was planned for and accounted for even with going out for the hair appointment. So I'm not concerned about that, but there's just a few last things I want to wrap up quickly for the week. But I am definitely ready to start a holiday weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna get to that. But before that, there were a couple things that I thought of after I turned the camera off last time and thought, this might be good to talk about as part of this vlog. Following on the conversation earlier about my mental health and what I'm struggling with, because I never want it to sound like I'm struggling so bad that everything is hopeless, because I firmly believe that nothing is ever truly hopeless. Like I can't give up on being hopeful. I can't. I often think of myself as being the most pessimistic optimist that you will ever meet, because I have one half of my brain that is very pessimistic, that is very negative, and will always see the bad side of the situation, will worst case scenario everything, will catastrophize everything. If this happens, then this bad thing will happen, and then this bad thing will happen. And part of that, I think, is a self-defense mechanism to keep me from getting too disappointed when life gets flipped upside down, because life does get flipped upside down every now and then. I feel like that's happened this week. I do think part of it's a self-defense mechanism just to keep my brain from going into too much shock when bad things happen. And as a 43-year-old, I have seen really bad things happen in my life, in this world. Over the years, there's been a lot of dark, heavy times. I don't think any generation is ever immune from that. You look at every generation, going back through history, and I don't think any of us get to live in true, like, there's a meme that's going around about how, like, I'm tired of living in unprecedented times. Give me some precedented times, please. I don't think any generation gets to live start to finish in precedented times. I think we all will experience something that hasn't been experienced before, that hasn't been experienced in recent generations. While it feels like the last few years in particular have been one big thing after another big thing after another big thing, it's not the first time that's happened, and it's not the last time it will happen. And so while I can be very pessimistic and negative about things, I am also at my core an eternal optimist. I cannot give up on the idea that we as a species are overall good, that the majority of us worldwide are kind, decent human beings who care about each other. And it can feel often, especially when we look at the media and we look at social media and things like that, it can feel like we're not, that we might be the only kind, decent person left in our community or left in our part of the world. It can feel that way sometimes, but I just refuse to believe that that is the actual truth. And call me naive, and some people would, and I'm okay with that. But if I allowed myself to believe that it was truly hopeless, then what's the point of continuing on? Like, to give up hope, like, that's just too bleak. I can't go there. I can't. And I see a lot of people online right now, that is the space that they are going, and it makes me really sad. And I'm already really sad. We can't give up on hope. We can't give up on the idea that things do work out in the end. Maybe they work out differently than how we envisioned, but life gets hard and then it gets better. Then it gets hard again, but then it gets better again. But then it gets really hard, but then it gets better again. Like, this is life. I think this is something else that kind of goes along with my things I love about being in my 40s. I do feel like I'm becoming a bit more resilient to life's disappointments, because I just know, okay, well, here we go again. It's gonna get really bad. It's gonna get really hard. And it will get better again. And maybe it won't get better for me. Like, maybe it won't. But it'll get better for other people eventually. You know, nothing is guaranteed. And it's why we have to enjoy the present moment while we can, because we don't know what's going to happen next. But I have to have faith in something. And I have to have hope in something. And I refuse to let anyone take that away from me, because if you take that away from me, then I have nothing left. And that is just not an existence I'm happy with. So I will be the most pessimistic optimist you will ever meet. And some would argue, and I would agree, that I probably see the world through a romanticized lens, and I'm too hopeful and I'm too optimistic about some things. And some would say that I'm a hopeless romantic. I have always hated that phrase, because it frames being a romantic as a bad thing. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think being a romantic is also being an optimist and being someone who remains hopeful in the inherent goodness of humanity. I refuse to let someone make me feel like that's a bad way to live my life or approach my life, that I'm wrong somehow for being hopeful and optimistic, because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think that's how we end up with a really scary world, when we give in to the fear and the pessimism and the resentfulness and the feelings of it will never get better, because then we never fight for it to get better. So yeah, that's what I was thinking about. And I think this is the struggle I'm having with my brain, because with whatever is happening with my hormones and stuff, whether it's perimenopause or something else or whatever, or a combination of things, I'm having these radical shifts and swings in my brain where I will go from the deeply dark pessimistic thought to the almost naively optimistic, Pollyanna, life is going to be amazing one day kind of thought. And then I'll switch back, and so I swing back and forth, and it can give me whiplash sometimes, I won't lie. It can be really difficult, but I think as I'm getting older, and I think one thing I'm just going to have to be practicing a lot while I try to find a new doctor and figure out what's going on and how I can make it better and, you know, cope with things better. I think I'm going to have to get better at learning how to, as I swing back towards the pessimistic, darker thoughts, to just acknowledge, okay, this is where we're at today. It's gonna swing back. You're gonna be okay. And remind myself that this too shall pass. Whether it's a big thing I'm stressing about or a little thing I'm stressing about, this too shall pass. This stress, this worry, this fear, it's going to be okay, and you will get through it. I have gotten through every bad and terrible and horrible day, week, month, year I have had in the past, and I've still gotten to today. So any bad day, week, month, or year that is coming up in the future, I will get through that too. I feel like you saw the dark, pessimistic side in the previous clip. Now I'm giving you the optimistic, hopeful side. Like, even within this vlog, we're swinging from one to the other. And yeah, it's also one reason why, like, literally November 1st, as soon as we were past Halloween, I woke up on November 1st and I was like, Christmas music. That's gonna help. And I've started using my Christmas mugs for my coffee in the morning. And very soon, there's going to be a Christmas tree behind me. We will talk about that. I do want to talk about that and content and things like that, but I want to get some work finished first. So let me get to work, or get back to work, and then we will talk about more happy things. Okay, I am done for the week. Done. I'm so done. But no, I did get a good amount of work done, and I've set up my teaching planner for next week, so I kind of know what I need to do starting on Tuesday. So it's all good. But now let's talk about Christmas and Vlogmas and vlogs and Tamsin's trip and content planning. I figured I wanted to kind of run some things by you all and talk about what is kind of coming up, but I also have been asked, I think it was Norma asked if I could talk a little bit about how I plan my content, how I plan these vlogs, and like what is filmed when and all of that sort of thing. So that is something I kind of need to be doing. I don't know how much of that exactly I'm going to do today, but I need to start thinking about it. So I'm going to get my planner, the big one that I don't use on a weekly basis. I've just given up on this planner, to be honest. This was a failed experiment. I loved this planner. I loved the peonies. I loved the pink. I thought I was gonna love the size, but the one thing the size does really work for is the 2-week monthly spread. So this was how I had started planning October. And you can see I've got the sticky notes. I like doing the sticky notes. I do eventually, I mean, to be honest, I'm probably gonna leave the sticky notes. But what I try to do is once something is confirmed, I take the sticky note off and I just write it in that square. So flipping you around, this was for October, so this was for launch day and publishing day and stuff like that. So I have notes to the proof arrived and I needed to vlog that day. Cover and title reveal email needed to go out underneath here because Monday, these are all the vlogs that went up on Monday and these are all the vlogs that went up on Wednesday. I never came back and put the titles of these, but vlog 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. This was my note to film vlog 71. So I filmed that on Wednesday, October 9th. It then got uploaded on Wednesday, October 16th. This was reminding me to film publishing day. So this is my note that on the 22nd, I was going to hit publish on the book and I needed to vlog that day. And then the pub day vlog went live on launch day. And then I've got a note here that this is launch day and I need to vlog it. And so having a calendar that I block out is really helpful because it lets me see the whole month. I also have this notebook. I don't use this every day and I don't use this for every vlog, but I will write down notes for vlogs. I will use it while I'm actively filming. I can keep a running tally throughout the day as I'm vlogging of how long the vlog is starting to get. I also have some sheets. So sometimes I use the planner. Sometimes I will print out a calendar, but I find that having a physical calendar that I can put sticky notes on is really helpful. And if I'm planning multiple months in a row, printing them out like this so that I can have all of the months out on a page. But this was from April and May. So this was from getting ready for London. I do not do this sticky note method for every month. I use this method when I am nearing a time where certain vlogs have to go up on certain days. So typically around a launch day, because there's certain vlogs that I film around the launch of a new book. Traveling, so getting ready for the trip, all of the non-travel related videos had to be up by the day I was going to arrive in London, because on that day the trip announcement vlog was going to go up. So it's very easy for me to kind of have a long list of vlogs I want to film or videos I want to film and then kind of run away with that. And then I'll get to a point where it's like, oh shoot, I've got more vlogs filmed that I have days left to upload before the content is going to shift because of a book launch or a trip or Vlogmas. So that kind of leads us up to today. When it comes to things like Vlogmas, I now know at the time of filming this, Tamsin is arriving on the 23rd. Vlogmas would normally start on the 1st. And I would pre-film some things. I usually pre-film 2 videos so that I have a 2-day buffer for Vlogmas. I tend to film one day, edit the next day, upload the 3rd. So what I vlog on December 1st actually goes up on December 3rd for Vlogmas. And that's just what I've been doing for the last few years, and it works best for me. Tamsin's visit is throwing a bit of a wrench in the works. So, because I want to vlog that. So basically what I am thinking, what I am proposing, well, it's not really a proposal, it's more like just FYI incoming. Vlogmas is just gonna start early this year. I'm going to be vlogging every day that Tamsin is here, and then vlogging every day throughout most of December for Vlogmas as I normally would. And so right now it's November 8th. So this vlog is going to go up on November 11th, And then the writing vlog that I've been filming prior to today and that I'll finish filming this weekend, that will go up on Wednesday, November 13th, which means I still need 2 more non-Tamsin related, Vlogmas related vlogs for the 18th and the 20th, but starting probably on the 24th, or I might I'd probably give myself a bit of a buffer. So I'll film on the 23rd for her arrival, edit that on the 24th, upload that on the 25th, and then what I film on the 24th, I can edit on the 25th and upload on the 26th. That would work. So Vlogmas is probably going to start on the 25th of November instead of on the 1st of December, which means you're going to get a full month of daily vlogs. I have actually kind of done that in the past. I've not vlogged starting in November and then going through Christmas, but I have vlogged all of December and then continued vlogging after Christmas through January, through the beginning of January and through New Year's, because I think it was in the 2016 London travel series, I think I was editing each day while I was in London, and so I went from daily vlogging for Vlogmas to daily vlogging for London. There is precedent. I have done more than just Vlogmas for daily vlogging, but this is kind of what I'm thinking of. I need to look through my list of potential vlogs and just think about what I want to vlog for these last 2 vlogs before I switch, and then also start thinking and start mapping out, just getting my head in order for vlogging and editing when Tamsin gets here. So I have a low battery light, which is really bad timing because my other battery is not yet charged. So I'm going to work while the battery is finished charging. Then we can talk a little bit more about Vlogmas and content planning and stuff like that, because yeah, there's still more in terms of how I come up with ideas, and that might be fun and interesting for you to hear about. Okay, I am running out of time today. Anyway, so I have a rough plan for the remaining vlogs before Vlogmas starts early. I hope you're excited about that. Tamsin and I do have some really fun things planned for her trip. So the rest of November, including Thanksgiving, is going to be really exciting and fun and cozy and just heartwarming, I think, with time with my family and time with Tamsin. And then she will be here during the first few days, for several days of December, so she would have been part of Vlogmas anyways. I kind of just want to lump everything together in one giant supersized Vlogmas, just to calm any worries. They will not be daily hour-long vlogs. I did that with the England trip because that was my first time in like 4.5 years, so I didn't want to place any limits on myself or on those vlogs. But for Vlogmas, I will be aiming to keep them around 35 to 45 minutes at the most, unless there's a day where we're just doing something really unusual and really exciting. And certainly once we get further into December and after Tamsin goes home and it's more just me kind of here at home, there will be shorter vlogs than usual, but still longer than what most creators do. Yeah, I hope you're excited about that. So just to kind of continue talking a little bit briefly about how I plan my vlogs and like how I've been deciding what to film when, I do keep a bank of video ideas. I'm not going to show you closely, but just so you can see, it's a little chart here. I need a better system to organize it, but there's a lot of ideas here. It goes down quite a ways. So there are quite a few ideas. When I have an idea for a vlog, I add it to this chart and I put a tentative title and then the category that I think that vlog will fall into. So either an indie author vlog, a life in my 40s vlog, a writing vlog, or some of them are academic life vlogs. I just haven't quite been able to film those yet. And so that's the thing. Sometimes this list has topics that there are vlogs on this list that you probably won't see for another several months because I am just not in the headspace right now to film them. But I still like to write them down and I like to come up with notes and ideas. So after the title and the category columns in this chart, there's a space for each vlog where I can write a rough idea so that when I'm filming that vlog, I've got a rough outline or notes to refer back to. I do not script my vlogs. That would be weird. It also wouldn't work. I can't stick to a script. It's impossible. So I don't script my vlogs, but I do usually have anywhere from one sentence to a paragraph of here's all the things I think I'm going to talk about in the vlog. And then if my brain is being really forgetful and I don't know what I'm doing, I've got something to bring me back and focus me back on what I'm trying to film. Sometimes an idea doesn't feel like it's a whole idea on its own. Sometimes while I'm vlogging, and this is why I don't script, because sometimes while I'm vlogging, ideas will come up and I just find a way of making it work. But then when it's time to figure out what vlog to film next, so I had 2 blank spaces in the category, in the calendar before Vlogmas was going to start, since I'm starting Vlogmas early. And so then it's figuring out, okay, what days between now and when those vlogs need to go up do I have to film, and what would work well for filming on those days. So that can sometimes make things complicated. So there's some vlogs that are on my to be filmed list that just aren't going to work for the time constraints I'm now working under, or they're just vlogs that I know I'm not going to feel like filming during the time I have left before I will start filming for Tamsin's visit. And so this is why having this long list of potential videos really helps, because it means I have a long list of something. And sometimes there might be something where, okay, this is written down as if it's going to be its own vlog, but maybe I can combine these ideas, or maybe I can put this up as something extra. It sometimes helps for me to have a big list of videos that I can do. If I'm then stuck and I don't know what to film, I've got ideas. Or I can come up with something that's not on the list and film that instead, which is kind of what I've done for the 2 videos you'll see after the videos this week. But they're videos that I wanted to film anyway. So yeah, I hope this has answered Norma's question. Norma, I hope this was helpful. I hope this gives you all an insight into how I make this magic happen. And I have already started importing this footage for this vlog, which is something I sometimes do, import footage while I'm still vlogging, just to see where I'm at time-wise. And prior to this clip, we were at 1 hour and 2 minutes. So I think so this now puts me over an hour. So to make editing easier for me, I think I'm gonna end the vlog here instead of going on to do a 5th talking clip because I think right now I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. No, this is 5, so we're done. We're done. I try not to have more than 5 talking clips in a vlog with then 4 bits of B-roll in between. So this is gonna wrap up this vlog. I feel like it was a bit all over the place. I feel like this is one of those vlogs where I was talking about 2 very different things. I'm sorry. I do try to be better organized than that, but I really wanted to talk about not wanting to feel alone today, and then that led into other more emotional topics. But I also really wanted and needed to do some of this content planning today, just so that I know what I need to film next and when, because I've got this vlog that I'm vlogging right now, talking to you all, and then I've got the writing vlog that I've been vlogging and will finish on Sunday, and like I now know I also need to vlog on Monday. And so if I hadn't done this planning today, I wouldn't have known that, and that would have been a problem. So I knew I needed to do this planning, and I wanted to talk about how I do this planning. So I hope this was still interesting. I do, just kind of going back to what I was saying at the very beginning of this vlog, I do really value having all of you lovely YouTube friends to talk to and keep me company. I am an introvert. I do love and cherish my alone time, but it can get to be too much, and sometimes it's too much alone time, and sometimes it's more solitude than is really healthy for my brain. And sometimes I just need people to talk to and connect to, and I need my friends, and I need my family, and I need you all. I truly am so grateful to all of you, and I look forward to your comments. And even when I take a little long to reply to your comments, they still mean a lot to me, and I see them as soon as they come in. And when I see a notification light up with a new comment on a vlog, I go and read it in full immediately, even though I know I don't have time to reply to it immediately, because I try to take the time to give you a thoughtful reply, but I always read them immediately, and they just make me so happy. And honestly, some of your comments have really turned around a bad day or have pulled me out of a negative thought spiral. And so the trying to tie all of this together, the planning of the vlogs is really important, because it's not just about what I want to film, it's what I think you all are interested in watching, and trying to find that balance between what do I feel like filming, but then also what will you all be excited to watch. But then it's been a stressful week. I can't deny that. And that definitely impacts how much I'm able to vlog. It can become this difficult thing of just making sure that I'm not vlogging when I don't feel well, because that never works out well, but that I'm also not vlogging because not having you all to talk to doesn't really feel well. I don't know if I'm making sense. I really don't. But I have definitely been struggling this week. I've been struggling with feeling alone. I've been struggling with being here in my apartment by myself. The solitude and being in my alone time that I usually crave as an introvert has started to turn into just feeling lonely. And that's what I try to be aware of and try to avoid, not avoid, that doesn't sound right. I try to be mindful to make sure that I am enjoying being on my own, and if it is starting to tip into feeling lonely, that I reach out, because I don't have to feel lonely. And when I start feeling lonely, that is when I can start romanticizing the things that I don't have and making myself feel bad for not having them. So when I start to feel lonely, that is when I will start to feel bad about being single, and I will start thinking, my life would be so much better if I wasn't single. My life would be so much better if I had a man to share it with. And that's not guaranteed. It's really not. But it's a very easy kind of space for my brain to slip into, that feeling of I don't have this thing and my life would be better if I had this thing. So, oh, poor woe is me that I don't have this thing. That is what I try to stop. And that is when reminding myself of my online community and my friends and reaching out to my mom and, you know, and my friends and saying, hey, can you jump on FaceTime? Can we meet up for a cup of coffee? Can we go do something? Is really important. So again, if you've been feeling that way, I would really urge you to reach out and connect with the people in your life, whether that's people online or people offline, but just not falling back on that habit of romanticizing what you think life would be like if you had the thing that you feel like you don't have, if any of that makes sense. I hope it does. I hope this has helped. I hope this vlog has been interesting. I'm really, like, I knew I needed to vlog today and I knew I wanted to vlog today, but I also am feeling that like second guessing self-consciousness creep up of like, has any of this been worth it? Has any of this vlog been interesting or good or worth watching? So I hope it has. If you've enjoyed this vlog, do the typical YouTubey things. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment. It would mean the world to me. You can leave me any kind of haircut, hair flip, or red heart emoji for my hair today, or leave me some Christmas emojis because it's almost Christmas. Let me know. I think one of our questions can be, are you looking forward to Vlogmas? Do you like the sound of an extra long Vlogmas this year? You can weigh in on the length of the daily vlogs if you do really want me to keep them around 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, or if you want to give me permission to let them be as long as they want to be. You really shouldn't give me that permission though, you really shouldn't. Editing Andrea will not appreciate that. Editing Andrea will feel better if she has a mandate from the viewers to keep them like below 45 minutes. But let me know, because I feel like this is also kind of your YouTube channel. So you're the ones watching this. So let me know what you would like, but also weigh in on anything I've talked about today. If you struggle with feeling alone and feeling lonely, what do you do to help combat that? Have you joined any groups to help you make connections outside of your immediate little bubble? Are you a content creator? How do you plan your content? Literally anything I've talked about today, feel free to weigh in. But with that, I need to switch back to the other vlog I've been filming all week. You will see that on Wednesday, and I'm really excited. That will be a huge writing update, huge writing vlog. I've been writing and vlogging every day this week since Monday, and I'm going to continue doing that through Sunday. So it'll be a how much can I write in 7 days kind of a vlog. So I'm really excited for that one. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming very soon. And yeah, I will see you all in that vlog, which I'm going to go back now to writing and filming that. So I will see you all in that vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye!